A worm gearbox is a machine part that helps reduce speed and increase power. It works by using a screw-like shaft called a worm shaft and a wheel called a worm gear. This type of gearbox is small but strong. It is often used in machines like conveyors, gates and lifting systems because it can move heavy loads slowly and smoothly. It can also stop the load from moving backward. This is called self-locking. The first person known to use the worm gear system was Archimedes, 287 to 212 BC, a Greek scientist and engineer. He is famous for the Archimedean screw used to lift water. But the idea of the worm and gear also came from the simple machines he and other engineers made at that time. The worm shaft is the part that takes power from a motor or a hand crank. It looks like a screw with spiral lines called threads. When it turns, the threads rub against the teeth of the worm gear. This makes the worm gear turn slowly. Even though the worm shaft spins fast, the gear moves slowly, but with more force. So the worm shaft helps reduce speed and increase torque. The worm gear is a round wheel with special teeth that match the worm shaft. It is usually made of bronze, which is smooth and strong. The worm gear connects to the output shaft. When the worm shaft spins, it pushes the teeth of the gear and makes it turn. The gear turns slowly, but with a lot of power. This helps move heavy machines with less effort. The housing is the outer shell of the gearbox. It is made of strong metal like cast iron or aluminium. Its job is to protect the parts inside, like the worm shaft and worm gear. It also holds the oil that keeps everything smooth and cool. The housing helps the gearbox work for a long time without damage. Bearings and seals are small parts that help the gearbox work better. Bearings help the shafts spin smoothly without too much friction. Seals stop the oil from leaking out and keep dust or water from getting in. Together, they make sure the gearbox runs quietly, safely, and lasts longer. The output shaft is the part that sends power to the machine. It is connected to the worm gear. When the gear turns, the output shaft also turns. This shaft moves slowly but with strong force, which is good for heavy loads. It is usually placed at a 90-degree angle to the input shaft. You can connect it to chains, pulleys, or other machine parts. Here's how it works. The motor turns the worm shaft. The threads on the worm shaft slide and push against the teeth on the worm gear. This makes the worm gear turn. The gear turns slowly but gives more torque. This helps move heavy things easily. In some gearboxes, the gear can't turn the worm shaft back. This is called self-locking. It helps stop the machine from rolling backward. Worm gearboxes have many useful advantages. First, they have a compact design, which means they take up little space but still deliver strong power. They can produce high torque, which is perfect for moving heavy loads. Second, they run quietly and smoothly, making them great for machines used indoors or in places where noise matters. Another big benefit is self-locking. This means the gearbox can hold its position even when the motor stops, without moving backward. This is very helpful for lifting or holding things safely. Finally, worm gearboxes are easy to install and maintain, so they save time and effort during setup and repairs. We would like to thank Archimedes, the great Greek scientist and engineer, for his early work in mechanical systems. His brilliant ideas helped shape the way machines move and work today. Thanks to his inventions, like the screw mechanism, we now have the worm shaft and worm gear. These parts are used in many machines around the world to make work easier. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more video.